This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site, Postmates Advanced Training. Given the content of this video, my standard routine opening doesn't make sense because I have been, my account has been closed. And I'll start by showing the screenshots. Right here, I try to go online, cannot go online. Your account has been closed. See, it doesn't say suspended, it says closed. Cannot go online, your account has been closed. Now that, of course, was surprising news. I'd finished some telemarketing today. I had a nice morning. I'm about to do some deliveries in the evening. And one click changes my plans, and changes my plans immediately. So, related but independent, I get this comment on one of my vids. Love your vid, man. I'm Postmates Walker, New York City. Found your vlogs very entertaining. So these listeners, you just can't believe how this comment by JG is just it was refreshing, giving the time, the content, the timing, the subject. You know, like a mother has the ability to make people feel better when they're emotionally wounded. But a mother can do that regardless of the subject. You know, oh, Tommy, my mother can still do it. I'm sad, I'm sick, you know, I talk to my mother, I'm feeling better. But my mother knows nothing about Postmates, so in some ways this JG comment was better than Mom. I will deny saying that. I will deny saying that to my mother. But there is some truth to it. The internet has this incredible reach. And here, right at a moment where I'm feeling shot and wounded and bitter, I get this comment from JG, who I don't know, and I haven't clicked into his, profile to see if he's like, sort of evasive with his identity or more out there like I am. But it doesn't matter. It's a human being out there that knows Postmates, that's listening to my story, and above all, I try to be entertaining. So he couldn't have chosen a better word. Well, it can't get any better than this, right? Well, it can, because then I reply explaining to him what had just happened, and I think he came back almost instantly, but I didn't discover it for another hour maybe. And then I replied again, but what he said is, oh, something like, be sure you give us an update. Okay, JG, and again, I try to address my audiences. So now I have 4 audiences. I have E for everybody. This video is definitely for everybody. This is a wounded, bitter, middle-aged man struggling with the emotion of an unexpected termination from Postmates. Okay, so this is the stuff everybody loves. So this is E for everybody. I wish I could make the letter E. E for everybody. In addition to that, it's Postmates in and out of New York, and it's specifically JG. JG, your words, the timing, the content, the subject, it was better than Mom, JG, so gracias. And so the other part of this is I don't know why I've been suspended. So is it all the stuff I'm doing on my social networking? Maybe. Is it the recent Doorman battle that generated a customer complaint about me? Maybe. And the timing would be about right. So I'm going to guess, to make this video a little better, maybe JG, more entertaining, I'm going to kind of guess, knowing I could be wrong, that I've been suspended, and I haven't been suspended. It says closed. But I've read some on the internet, and I think closed and suspended are kind of the same thing. But I might truly be terminated. I may never do another delivery for Postmates, and that would upset me. If I have, my first offense is my final offense, but if that's the game they want to play, it's their game. They've created it, and these people are authorized to to make my most recent delivery my last. So anyways, let's assume a couple nights ago I told this story about a doorman, and I kind of fanned the flames of these doorman battle because I show up, I'm carrying this orange Home Depot bucket. I don't dress and look and engage with people as if I'm delivering food. And for people outside of New York to understand this, New York delivery people are largely Mexican, or some good portion of them. I would say the stereotypic delivery person, okay, would be Central American or Mexican. And I know this not because I'm racial profiling. I think they're all Mexicans. I know most of these people are Mexican because I asked them. Certainly the first language of delivery in New York City is Spanish. And then there's Hondurans, Guatemala, and El Salvador. And when you get them on the bikes and they have the covers on their handles and they wear the reflective vests and the helmets and they drive the electric bikes, or even if they don't drive the electric bikes, the Hondurans, the El Salvadorians, the Guatemalans, and the Mexicans, they're indistinguishable. Their fashion is, you know, they're wearing ball caps under their hat. They're when you walk in carrying plastic bags, you look like one of those guys, and I've never seen a woman do it who fits the mold of this Central American and Mexican thing. So it is men who do this job, and if you walk in and you look like one of those guys, okay, you're not Caucasian European descent like I am, and you're not 6'3" like I am. You're shorter like a Central American or a Mexican. At least I know there's plenty of tall Mexicans, but the ones that do this work are generally not tall. So I walk in, and I'm an American. My first language is English. I'm university educated. I engage in a way that distinguishes me from the stereotypical delivery person I just described. So on occasion, once a week, once every 2 weeks, that becomes a problem because the doormen greet me with contempt. What are you doing? I'm delivering food. It is as if I didn't answer their question, which is what happened in this most recent crash. I'm delivering food. What's the bucket? I said, it's the tools to do my job. I don't remember saying that, but that's what I would have said. I've been asked many times. And I'm sure my versions of this story, as I tell it, will canonize me as not attracting this problem, not creating the problem. But you know what? I create this problem again and again. So I am certainly guilty. I can accept what part of mine is guilty. Unfortunately, I can't really dissect what I did that is wrong and what I shouldn't do again. All I have is my account is closed, and I've kind of gone through the Rolodex of why it's closed, and I've kind of launched into this Doorman thing. So what I try to do cleverly is go to battle with these doormen who, as by my account, are harassing me unnecessarily, are asking me questions but not listening to my answers. You know, in other words, what are you doing? I'm delivering food. Well, who's your customer? That's what they should be asking. What's in the bucket is not their fucking business, and it pisses me off. So now I'm hostile. I've gone to battle with their doorman. On one occasion, it was a doorwoman. On one occasion, it was a doorwoman. It's mostly men. The job is mostly done by men. And next thing you know, I tell this doorman, I'm going to go back down to the sidewalk. I'm going to call your customer. I'm going to tell your resident that I'm being harassed by the doorman. Is that what you want me to do? So what am I wrong to do that? Well, I'll tell you what I'm wrong. These people order with Postmates, and I've said again and again that they like this idea that they can reach out through a small crack in the door and grab the food and not even make eye contact. Well, that only describes about 1 in 10 or 1 in 5 customers, but no doubt these people are feeling antisocial. And so now I'm on the phone telling the customer I'm being harassed by his doorman. Well, it's not fair. What I've done is not fair. In addition to forcing this man to engage socially, I'm also bringing my hostility and my Doorman conflict into his life. Those Doormen do not deserve my respect when they greet me with contempt. They greet me with contempt, and they have solicited hostility. I feel not one sense of pity for how I've treated them, except when I called one of them a certified asshole. I'm not perfect. I try not to do that. Most times I behave myself. This time I didn't. And so my bringing hostility into the customer's life is unfair. And I feel bad. And not only do I feel bad, I would apologize if given the opportunity to. And I would mend my ways, and I would do my very best to not do it again. Now, how I slice that very skinny line between hostility that's solicited and justified with Doorman and customers that deserve respect, want to keep their life peaceful, may be feeling antisocial, and that needs to be honored, can't always do it. One thing is sure, I am tired of being harassed by Doorman. It happens again and again. And just because I don't look like who they think a Doorman should look like, it's not my problem. And when they start interrogating me with questions and not listening to my answers because my answers aren't matching with what they say again and again in writing that the words are only like 10, 20, 25% of the total communication. You know, the rest is visual. The rest is audible. And so when I walk in and I look not like a Central American or Mexican dressed in the delivery person fashion, and they get from me that I'm not a delivery person, meanwhile my words are saying I'm a delivery person, they still can't get it. They still can't get it. I'm holding a plastic bag. I'm a delivery person. I tell them I'm a delivery person. They still can't get past the fact that they don't think I'm a delivery person. To me, that is unjustified hostility, something that a Mexican or Central American, a short guy who rides a bike, who carries the plastic bags, has a reflective vest and the helmet because the city requires them to wear that. Those guys don't get it, but I do. And I'm not claiming reverse discrimination. This is a job that has been given to me, and I intend to do it. I don't see in any way that I'm a victim of discrimination. However, the social dialogue that happens around that is fueled by their expectations of them thinking I'm not a delivery person, that becomes my problem. And then in the process of dealing with it, with confrontation and hostility and bite back, that became the customer's hostility. So I'm going a huge gap here. I'm going to share my screen again because I've really gone wild with the story. So again, today I go in, I'm in the city, I finish this marketing work that I did some writing on it. And right here, I go online. There's even the time I did it, 5:42. Nope. Make matters worse, the office is already closed. Make matters worse, the office is not open tomorrow. And it's only morning hours the next day. Now, I can hit the morning hours if I need to. So this is not a big deal if I get renewed, and it's not a big deal if I don't get renewed. The DoorDash is the other game in town, and they're actively soliciting people. And I think I can get on with them. So again, listeners, E for everybody. Postmates people in and out of New York, Postmates people in and out of New York, and, gosh, JG, I think it is. Oh, God, where did it go? JG. So JG, Postmates people, and everybody with pop interest. This is the only thing I have to go on. Now, I've read some blogs, I've done a different thing, and I've come to the conclusion that I'm suspended because of this battle with the Doorman that overflowed into the customer. It wasn't fair. It wasn't fair of me to bring that hostility into the customer's life. He didn't deserve it. His Doorman deserved it trying to cut that fine line is just too fine. I probably shouldn't do it. But I also can't get disrespected, so I got to somehow reconcile that. In addition, listeners, there is what I believe is a credible report on the internet that the CEO of Postmates accidentally replied to a customer and told her to fuck off in text. And he, in a public way, again, I believe it to be authentic, I believe it to be credible. It's Huffington Post and some others, and it's got tweets from the customer and texts from the CEO, and he was writing his staff saying, would someone tell this customer to fuck off? And the email address of the customer was accidentally included on the distribution. Well, that is the way this company communicates, this sort of backroom communication, and it's a tech company, and they really should be out there. If that CEO had been writing like I do, knowing that every word could go for anyone, this idea in the tech world that we have a selective audience, that our words aren't going to be by chance or deliberately everywhere. I mean, look at revenge porn. These people have private moments with their boyfriends. Women have private moments with their boyfriend, and the relationship goes sour. Next thing, these naked pictures and naked videos are on the internet. Well, this is a gross violation. Well, it's a reality of today, and it's a reality that our words could be out there. So what better way to deal with it is by having almost every conversation as if it's recorded. I can still say the F word. And I can still pledge better behavior in the future. So even if I'm not suspended for this episode with the Doorman, I have learned from it. I really, and I don't think I would have if I hadn't had this web problem, this account closed. I keep wanting to call it a suspension, but it says account closed. And so anyways, it's been a lesson for me. Too many times, I mean, look in the mirror when I say to the CEO, hey, you can't, in today's world, you can't really get this audience with your staff and be sure it doesn't get over here, so you better choose your words more carefully. I can't bring hostility into the lives of these doormen while providing peace, tranquility, and prompt hot food for the customers. I tried to cut the line too short, and it appears here that I'm reconciling with my behavior, as the CEO did with his F-off to the customer. So anyways, this has been great. I start the videos saying I speak to multiple audiences. E for everybody, like the apps are rated E for everybody. This is definitely everybody. I know from my blogging, my video blogging, my audio blogging, I know this is the kind of stuff people like. It's emotion. It's struggle. It's reconciliation. It's repentance. It's sadness, sorrow, grief. It's all that stuff. And I'm looking right now into the camera. This is authentic. I would have done it when it was fresh. I mean, here it's 5 hours after I learned of this news, and I would have done it immediately, but I can't do a hangout from my phone. And I'm sorry that I can't. I still think it's possible. I haven't figured out how to do it. So I have to come home to chase down this laptop to do it at home. So even though it's 5 hours old, it's still fresh. My thoughts, my emotions are still developing. And I won't be able to do anything about this till Thursday. So anyways, back to the audiences. E for everybody. This is emotion. This is what people like. The start of my blogging was the death of my firstborn son. Grieving, middle-aged man. This was very popular. Oh my God, I've got people listening. You know, I don't have to burden my friends. I got people listening. This is great. And then all of a sudden, you know, it evolves over a decade and a half now, and I've got this very, very precise comment, timely, precise comment from JGJG. in addition to knowing exactly he's a Postmates himself, in addition to him, his compliment being timely, his word choice being perfect, I also reply, tell him about this new drama, and he says, be sure to give us an update. He's interested. So someone out there that knows what I'm facing cares. Again, in some ways it's better than Mama, because Mama doesn't know what Postmates is, and she doesn't know what account suspended or terminated, or what's the word, closed, and she can feel bad for me, put me back on my feet my whole life like she's done so many times. But in some ways, JG is better than Mama. So again, E for everybody, Postmates people, in city, out of city, and specifically JG. Your comment was timely. Soothe the soul. This has been Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, or restful night's sleep. Ciao.